If you're positive, you better bless this space. If you are negative, you better get up on my face. If you are positive, you better bless this space. If you are negative, you better get up on my face. If you are positive, you better bless our space. If you're negative, you better get up on our faces.
Period.
Yay! Yay!
No
we'll
bell.
cleanse the air because we forgot the bell. My bad.
Don't know where
So
the bell
cleansing
is.
cleansing. How was everybody today?
Tired.
We know.
Super tired. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Witches and Weebs Fandom Friday. Oh my God, I'm so used to Fandom Friday on Friday. I said Fandom Friday. Witchy Wednesday. Welcome
That is
back
right.
to
It
another
is Witchy
episode
Wednesday.
of Witches and Weebs Witchy Wednesdays. Hooray! Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. And today we will be talking about charged water and all 24 ways to charge your water.
Yes, apparently there's a lot, and regular water is just apparently not enough for any of us witches. Now, granted, moon water is the easiest to come by. You just slap shit in a tap, put it out on your counter of your like little. I have this. What's it called? I don't know English.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Window seal.
Oh,
Your window
okay.
seal, slap that shit on there, and you'll be good. Just get it before the sun comes up, if you're up that early.
Unless
can
you like
get it a
sun
little
water
late.
too.
I was gonna say, sun water just works as well too. There's plenty of shit you could use with sun water, we figured out. So this is an episode of regular water just isn't charged enough for my needs.
At all.
It's just not enough. I'm gonna be real, this is probably not gonna be a super long episode. It's pretty cut and dry, and there's only, I don't know how to count.
16.
16.
12.
12. Wow,
12.
neither do you. Neither do you. Neither do you.
12. Even though we
12
said
different
9.
waters.
We said 9 last time, but now we're talking about 12.
That's because I actually found a better little infographic to go off of that had more options. The first one that I had only had 9. This one has 12, so it has 3 others.
Damn.
So we'll be talking about rainwater, we'll talk about regular moon water, we'll talk about sun water, and we'll talk about more like if you live in specific areas of the world, like Florida, swamp water. You can get swamp water pretty easily in Florida and various Louisiana, Mississippi kind of areas.
Yeah.
I can't really get swamp water, but actually it's really good for the stuff that I want to use, that I want to do. Boo-boo. Anyway, so let's get started we'll talk about regular moon water first. You can use moon water to charge your crystals just regularly. Blessing or cleansing, bath rituals, powering spells. This is stuff that brings energy to you. Gathering energy. And it's also really good for curses and hexes. So moon water is one of those all around kind of just great to help you with most things that you will do witchy.
Mm-hmm.
That is why most people will focus on it.
Do you remember when those baby witches tried to hex the moon? Like,
I'm going to be real with you. I actually wasn't even on TikTok at that time. That's what got me to get on TikTok, because I'd be like, what the fuck is going on with these witches on here?
I'm like, what do you mean they're trying to hex the moon? What the fuck did the moon do to you that you're trying to hex the moon?
The moon is mother. The moon is what controls the waters. It helps. What are we cursing the moon for?
It looked at me funny, I guess. Like,
oh my goodness, you're right, I guess.
It doesn't make sense to me, because like, who wakes up one day and was like, damn, we should hex the moon? For what?
What group of people was just like, yeah, let's hex the moon?
Dumbasses, probably.
Yeah, I guess they just want... I truthfully just think it's a case of a bunch of teenagers wanted attention and was like, this is gonna get us the most attention quickest.
That's gonna get you the most fucked up life that you ever had, because why are you trying to curse a fucking powerful source? Hello?
And then literally the moon's just gonna be like, you're like an ant, dude.
Like, that tickles. What you doing down there?
Like, the moon is a greater force of reality. Don't even try and bother with it. On the flip side, from moon water being a great all-arounder, if you want something that's going to give you a lot of energy, sun water, of course. This is protection, healing, clairvoyance, happiness, fertility, and creativity. So I would say that moon water and sun water are your go-tos out of everything.
I like the idea of sun water, because y'all know me. I want to be a plant so bad, and I want to go outside and I want to photosynthesize in the sun, and all this, you put on sunscreen. Make sure you put on sunscreen, please.
No matter what your skin tone is, everybody needs sunscreen.
SPF is important. Yes, first person shooter games are very important to yourself.
They're really good for your reflexes, but not anything else.
But yes, SPF is good because yeah, you can have all the melanin in the world, but that's not gonna stop the UV from going right through your skin at all. So please wear sunscreen. Don't matter what skin color you got, put the fucking sunscreen on. But
that just means melanin just means that you guys have a harder time collecting vitamin D. It does nothing else for UV.
Nothing.
That's why this is why white people, I mean, like, I'm not actually, but I look a certain way because my colonizers, but it's okay. There's literally no else other way I could put that. Literally, I look this way because of what happened to my people.
Because of my faux ancestors.
So white people, or like light-skinned people, developed that skin tone to better absorb vitamin D from the sun. So y'all guys just have a harder time getting vitamin D.
We also have a harder time getting sunburnt. Go us!
That is true because you get less vitamin D, and it's one of the things that makes you sunburnt. So you still need sunscreen regardless.
Always need sunscreen. But after that tangent,
that was a tangent.
My point was that yeah, you like to go out in the sun, you like to sunbathe. Why not do that with your water? Your water will get those same properties that you will get if you were a plant and you were photosynthesizing outside.
The sun is energy. The sun is energy. So it puts energy into the water. So that makes perfect sense that this is a very vitalizing, giving you a creative vibe, healing you, giving you like protection, because the more energy you have, the more energy that you have to protect yourself through various other ways.
Right.
So
why do you think that when you go outside and you soak up the sun, you feel a lot better as opposed to staying inside on a gloomy day, just looking at the sky with no sun and just being like, ugh, I'm so depressed. I'm so sad.
We're going to trigger a lot of homebodies that don't even go outside and be like, I hate the sun. Dude, you just need 10 minutes a day. Trust me.
I'm a homebody. I stay inside all day and I'm like, all right, no, this isn't going to work for me. I need to go outside. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, you don't have to interact with anybody. If your whole thing is you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't have to talk to anybody. Pop in some headphones, go outside, soak up the sun. Don't have your nose buried in your phone because you got to see where the fuck you're going.
Or you can also take a little notebook and just make a note of what you see on the way there. And no one's going to bother you if you're writing down on something.
Right. I don't think anybody would want to bother you anyway.
Like, truthfully, but everybody needs at least 10 minutes a day of sunlight to feel good. We are not supposed to be held up in the house 24/7. That's not what humans are. Go look at apes. They're outside all the time.
If you're in an area, say like what is it? The mid, it's not the Midwest. Well, kind of the Midwest, but not really the Midwest. But like places like North Dakota, Washington, Montana, places that don't really get too much sun, invest in a vitamin D lamp. You can still get the same properties of the sun with a vitamin D lamp. So even if you are a homebody, but you absolutely need the sun, otherwise you will be depressed. I am speaking from experience. I used to live in North Dakota. The sun barely shines there. I was a disgusting, depressed fucking mess. Didn't want to go outside, didn't want to get out of bed. Invest in a vitamin D lamp. Please. Otherwise you will stay depressed. You will be sad all the time. And then you wonder, why am I so sad? It's because you're not getting any sunlight.
Sun is so important.
Get some vitamin D supplements if you need it. The point being, vitamin D is important. That's it.
Yes. The sun is important. And if you can't get the sun, vitamin D supplements are great. Yep. They take 4 months to really start to affect you. But once you're in that and in that regular habit of taking them, they will help just as much.
Exactly.
There's different ways. So please get the sun just like you need your sun water. Next one I would say is probably the easiest one to get is probably river water. A lot of us are near rivers because that's where civilization almost always decides we need water. So this is an energy of moving on. Obviously, this is flowing water.
Right.
So this is moving on, focusing energy. This is really good for warding because whatever negative energy, it's taking it somewhere else. It's flowing out of your zone. Breaking through, of course, rivers slowly erode on earth and rock and all that kind of stuff. Totally makes sense. And it's also good for charging because it is flowing energy.
Don't drink it unless
Ew.
you purify it first. You can
Don't
purify
drink it.
You can purify these types of waters without taking out the properties because it still maintains the stuff that it got from the source. So
You're
don't
just
just
cleaning
get
out
some
the dirt.
Yeah, don't get no river water and drink it unless you're that wild crazy and have the best immune system in the entire world. Cause me, I'm not drinking no river water unless I
Couldn't be
filter
me.
and purify that shit first. It's not happening.
Couldn't be me.
At all. But if that's something that you feel like you might want to ingest because you can still, get those same properties in your body, then, purify it first, filter it first. Otherwise, if you're just going to have it in a spell or just have it as like an energy emitter, then you don't have to worry about purifying it.
Yes, if this isn't going to be something that goes in your body, don't worry about purifying it. It can be used in spells just as is.
Yep.
However, if it's going in your body, don't be stupid. Okay? Don't say that we told you to put river water in your body. No.
We didn't
We
say
told
that.
you to purify it.
That's
Just
what we
checking.
said.
Now, I have very easy access to this as seawater, as somebody who lives next to the sea. This is for cleansing, banishing, protection, emotional balance, healing ritual, and manifestation. I think that this water is very, very good for just about anything because this is the sea.
Sea witches, where y'all at? Where y'all
trying to be one. I trust.
Where y'all at, sea witches?
So,
Oh my
I
God.
really
Sorry. I just noticed like people who really like the beach and like are kin mermaid. I don't like that word kin, but like are very relatable to mermaids. They're like some of the most chill people that I've met ever. That's kind of crazy.
Okay, I don't know if I would call myself that chill, but what?
You don't think you're chill?
No, I think I'm actually very high strung. I have a lot of emotions. I just act chill.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I think
Okay,
you're
and here's the
chill.
thing. That is very much like the sea, though, if you think about it.
True, actually.
So you might have a point there. You might have a very good point.
Now I'm wondering about water signs in the moon, like moon water signs, and if they're affected by the moon phases. And
Absolutely.
Oh, that's actually that would explain.
Oh, absolutely.
As a water moon, that explains so much.
I mean, I'm an air sign moon, so I can't say that affect. But as a water sign elsewhere, I will tell you the moon affects water signs 100% of the time.
Oh my
We are
goodness.
affected by the moon cycles.
Ooh,
That's why sea witches often work with the moon regardless.
right. That's kind of cool. That explains
So,
a lot, actually.
Everything is affected by everything, to be honest.
That's fair, and this is why we promote eclectic witchery, because everything matters. Everything ties together. Ooh, excuse me. Everything makes sense.
And even if you don't end up using whatever you learned about, you still learned about it, and you still have that knowledge to sit back and use in your own practice to be like, okay, this is how it would work there. Maybe I could use it like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also a very easy one to come by if you are just existing in anywhere that rains. Rainwater. Rain is all about growing and rebirth, as in it feeds plant life. The rains of April bring May flowers, or I don't know.
April showers bring May flowers.
There you go. April showers bring May flowers. Same concept. So this helps rebirth. This is also good for cleansing because you go out in the rain and, it's a shower. Altar water is also very good for if you're using it for any kind of spell or just to rest on your altar as a donation to water spirits or Poseidon or any kind of water god that you might be working with. Ritual baths as well because it would be good to cleanse. Apparently this is also very good for scrying. I didn't know that. I might have to, it's been raining here. I might have to collect some rainwater.
Yeah, okay. I learned something new today. I was just thinking back to sea witches and how they do divination and scrying with like a little puddle of water. That makes sense.
It makes this total same concept. You would do it in a puddle, basically.
Yeah. That's cool. Witches are cool. Witches are so cool.
And the thing is, like, this is all, I'm sure, like, this is all from different practices, and maybe you guys have different feelings towards water and rainwater and all of that, and you have your own practice. This is just what we found that I found.
Yeah.
What I found that they mean. And I found a nice little infographic that sums it all up really well.
And like we always say, things are subject to change because this is a learning channel. We are learning, and the more we learn, we'll probably look back and be like, okay, well, this was incorrect, but we learned from it.
I will be the 100% person to revisit things that I discover are wrong and be like, hey, no.
But like, that's the whole purpose of our channel.
Like, this is all about learning. We just love to learn, and we love knowledge. So if you guys have any sort of different perspectives to add and be like, oh no, okay, so in my culture this means this, please do. I would love to know. I'm a sucker and a lover of cultures, and I will drop this little tidbit. My D&D world is very inspired by my love of cultures. There are many different kind of cultures in my D&D world already, so just saying. So from rainwater, if you go a little bit more extreme to storm, such as, like, you know, I'm not saying you go out into a hurricane, but if there's lightning and thunder, it's probably a storm. So this is vitality. This is very volatile energy that you're working with. So if you need a lot of self-esteem, storms are very powerful. Courage, again, storms are very powerful. Mental strength, again, storms are very powerful. This is all about the power of a storm, pretty much.
And the bravery that you need to go outside and actually collect storm water in the middle of the storm.
Exactly. This is also really good for protection because storms are very hard to get through. They're very hard to go outside and be in.
Yeah.
So if you need a strong need for protection, get yourself a little storm water.
Unless you're insane and like to go outside during a storm and dance in the rain. Kudos to you for that.
Honestly, in my kind of storms that we have, I probably could.
I would. I absolutely would. If I get hit by a tree in the middle of it, that's fine. But
the problem is I have to drag my husband out with me because he would have to watch over me like a hawk. He would never let me go out by myself.
Watch out for that tree. Huh? What?
What was your point, honey? So on to something that I've actually had quite recently. I should have collected some dew water.
How do you collect dew water?
My guess is you would just maybe leave a cup out and let dew collect on it.
I'm trying to think of the process of dew. Because my stupid ass always defaults back to that one episode of Fairly Odd Parents that I saw when Timmy and his friends were out at like the ass crack of dawn, and there were these little elves that were painting dew on the grass. And I'm like, I don't feel like this is right. This is a cartoon. This is absolutely incorrect. But how does dew happen?
Okay, so you can actually collect dew, but it's a little bit of a complicated process.
I feel like dew complication is the same as like distilled water complication, because distilled water is a bitch to collect.
Yeah. So what you do is you can either sweep a t-shirt or a bandana through grassy and leafy branches and then wring it out. Easy. That's the easiest way to do that. But you could also use a dew trap.
They have those?
Now, this is literally something you can do on your own. You don't have to buy anything. You dig a hole about 1 foot deep in your yard, put a little collector in there, cover it with clear plastic, and dew would collect in there.
Ooh, when I get a house, I'm absolutely going to do that.
There's some... I knew exactly where you were going and I was ready for it. You can also just tie a plastic bag around a small bush branch to trap moisture.
Okay.
There's different ways of collecting dew water if you were to super need it. This is all about healing, beauty, eyesight, love, and fertility, working with the Fae, which I will never recommend for any apprentice witches. No. Fae cards are a little different because they're just calling to the fae, but I mean calling on the fae themselves. They like to fuck around and they like to find out and they think it's funny. So just for that record, do not work with the fae if you are an apprentice witch. You have to decode what the fae want proper, or they're gonna mess with you and they're gonna poke your bucket. And they're not gonna do anything but inconvenience you, really, because that's what they find funny.
Right.
But still not very fun.
Where are my keys? I literally had them right here. You go back, you come back, your keys are there. That's not right.
As somebody whose husband is experiencing this currently because he's been playing soccer and he's been messing with some mushrooms. Yeah, don't do that. Carlos, good luck finding out who that is. So the next water is anytime you can go in the wintertime, unless you live in a place like I do. Snow water. Mia has access to this.
Everywhere
to
I go.
unthaw a situation. Let's say like maybe a job opportunity has kind of stalled. There you go. Get some snow water, let it melt. Transformation, because you're going from snow to water. Balance, again, snow to water. Peace, consecrating, and endings, because the snow is ending its life cycle as snow and becoming water. Consecration is because snow is exceptionally pure because of how it forms. Very little, if you get the super white snow, don't get anything brown.
Which means if you are in the New Yorks of the cities, don't go around picking up the snow. Get something outside to collect the snow coming down. Do not pick up any New York City snow, because that shit is brown and dirty and disgusting.
So put yourself out a little cup and let it snow into the thing. It'll work all the same.
Right. If you're privileged enough to be in the suburbs, put something out in your backyard and collect the snow.
Don't try to collect the ground snow unless you have your own yard that you know no one's been in. That snow white as fuck.
Exactly.
You're Gucci. Go ahead, take it. But if you don't have your own yard, don't get it off the ground.
Please
collect it somehow. So this is all about transformation. This is about cleanse. It's also about consecrating, which is consecrating is different than cleansing. That is making something completely pure. Consecrating is like consecrating the body and blood of Christ if you were once Christian, something like that. So it's an act of transformation, transforming something. It would be good to start your altar with.
Okay.
Starting your altar in the winter, consecrating the space because you're transforming it into a sacred space for yourself. So that's a good way to use snow water. And then we're going to, now most people might not have access to this, but if you're lucky enough to have space, I don't. Spring water, if you have a little spring that runs through somewhere. I know a lot of people in the Midwest might have, and some suburbs probably. This is all about growth. This could be made into holy water because, again, springs tend to be very clean. Don't drink it without boiling it first, please and thank you. Cleansing, abundance. Again, this is very good for potions, stuff that you can drink. So please boil it first. And then beauty. This is all about refreshing, I think.
Spring water is refreshing. Spring water is very refreshing. I think I've had spring water once. Like natural spring water, not the spring water that they advertise in wholesale places.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually know if they're spring water or not. I've done a fuck ton of research on spring water. Not even spring water, just water in general. And most of the time, it's not actually spring water. It's just...
I have actually had a very expensive Italian spring water, and I 100% know it's spring water because that tasted like God on earth.
like
on God, they came in glass bottles this fucking big.
Yeah.
I had that at a restaurant in Las Vegas. It was Wolfgang Puck's restaurant.
Oh, well, that makes fucking sense. I love Wolfgang Puck. Every time I watch Hell's Kitchen, where's Wolfgang Puck? Me and my other best friend, we watch Hell's Kitchen like all the time, and every time we watch it, we're like, where's Wolfgang Puck?
You have other best friends?
Yes, you do too, bitch.
Oh yeah, I do actually. Mob is my best friend.
I can't believe we're name dropping Morbius.
I'm so glad she goes. They go by a different name now, so it's perfectly fine for me to refer to them as that. But
I'm sorry if you're watching this, Morbius. I don't mean any harm.
Dude, she'd laugh. I know 100% she would have a field day with that. Because I think she saw that movie.
Poland Spring is absolutely not spring water. Poland Spring is doo-doo. I grew up with Poland Spring, and it used to be the best water I ever had because I had no other water to drink except for tap water. Poland Spring is doo-doo. Fiji is not really spring water. Evian's not spring water. Their cheap water that is advertised as spring water is 100% not spring water at all. You can even do those cool little alkaline tests that were going around for some time. That shit is not spring water.
If I could get you the name of the Italian water brand, I will, because it was God on earth. But it's very hard to come by.
It is. But I had it one time and I'm like, this is the best water I've ever had in my entire life.
We literally came home from Vegas because we have a water subscription because we drink a lot of water. So like we get good stuff here. We immediately changed our water subscription to that water brand. I didn't care how much it was. It was literally the most refreshing water I have ever had in my life. It was to die for. Now let's move on to the next water. We're going to talk about lake water. And I know there's quite a few states that have lots of lakes or have big ones. There's at least 7 of them, I think. Those are the ones that border the Great Lakes. Mm-hmm. So lake water is great for peace because it's typically very peaceful. Joy, contentment, relaxation, self-reflection, because lakes are usually very calm, so you can see reflections. Mm-hmm. I would also say they'd probably be pretty all right for doing some scrying with.
I think so too, actually.
And self-discovery. So lakes are all about seeing your own reflection painted back at you. It's about like seeing the reflection on the lake, the very calm water of a lake, and looking into it and seeing all of that. Damn, I just spit right there. Fuck.
Now, we mentioned something before about bodies of water being touched by the sun and moon being charged with those properties.
I would say yes.
This applies.
Whatever you're about to ask.
This applies here, but it will still take those same properties of that body of water. Now, if you take some tap water, put it in a jar, put it outside, boom, that's your moon water. Lake water can also be moon water, but it will also still possess the same properties as what lake water does. So just think of it as charged lake water. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. You can charge lake water through the moon and sun, and it would absolutely take on those properties. And I would believe a lot of these would, except for any flowing bodies of water.
Mm-hmm. Like
because
river
those
water.
have, river water and spring water. And I would say rain and storm water are probably the also two because those are flowing in some fashion.
Yeah.
But everything else, since they're stationary, I 100%. If the water is stationary, where you get it from, you can charge it with moon and sun water and it will take on moon and sun water properties. So lake water is great for self-improvement. If you want to do things with yourself, this is all about, and including adding in, if you charge it with moon, you'll do a lot of internal work up here. And if you charge it with sun, you'll do a lot of external work with your body, working out maybe, whatever makes you happy that way.
If that lake ain't dirty and nasty and filthy, go jump in it. Because we know people like to swim in the lake. People like to bathe
Put on water
in the
shoes.
rain. People like to swim in the ocean. I want to go to the beach at like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. one day and just
my God.
chill in the water.
Same.
Oh my God, I need to live near a beach.
Okay. Okay.
Like, hey,
We'll
what
do
time
that.
is it? Like, it's like 2 a.m. Let's go to the beach.
Okay.
Okay.
I would not say. I would literally get Carlos up. To be honest, we would be up at that time. Me and Carlos would literally be up at 2 a.m. anyway. So if you like knocked on my door and said, you want to go to the beach?
Yes. Just hang around in the water.
What else are we doing?
Right. Even if it's just a summer night because it's hot in the summertime. So it's typically the most ideal time where you'd want to go to the beach. Because going to the beach in the wintertime at 2 a.m. is like agony. And nobody wants to wear a big puffer jacket at the fucking beach. So
No.
Summertime is definitely ideal for those long walks on the beach at 2 a.m., have a drink or get high with your buddies, and then go find a fucking street cart and eat food.
Especially if you're in the lower half of the United States. The hotter the area, the more likely you're going to have a longer time to be able to do 2 a.m. beach runs if you have a beach.
Peru.
So moving on, this is actually what's not, I know I had a well when I had a cottage at one point. Well, I didn't have a cottage. My grandmother had one, and I happened to go there every so often. but it had well water, so I had access to well water. This is what you want to do if you want to talk to other spirits. Well water is very intuitive, into the psychic. You're wishing on a star, you're wishing in the well, blah blah blah, the same concept. Intuition, manifestation, connect to otherworldly beings. This is the hedge, a hedge which would probably have a well on her property. I now want a well on my property.
Dang, this is making me want to play Sims now.
Oh my God, you're so right. So this is well water is all about manifestation and wishing and magic. It is the magical one, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wishing wells exist.
Wishing wells absolutely exist. You throw water into a fountain for this. You throw water into a fountain. What am I doing in English? I don't know English. You throw coins into a fountain and make a wish. This is the same kind of concept. And now the one that I would love to have access to, but of course I do not, because I live in a drought-prone area. Swamp water. As you can only guess.
Louisiana.
As you can only guess, this is all about hexing, curses, magic involving revenge. I had something to say about this to Mia and I spit, and I'm gonna repeat it here. When somebody does bad unto you, they have already cursed you. If you are cursing them back, you are simply returning energy to sender. Curses is fine so long as they've cursed you first. Mm-hmm. That includes acts of SA. This includes betrayals. This includes things that are just bad acts. Things that are toxic that have happened to you. You can rightfully get revenge on them through a curse. And the universe is like, yes, go baby.
Right.
Return that energy back to sender.
Right.
It is your way of letting go. This is why I do say that curses have a place.
There's
in
like
magic.
A huge misconception about curses because unfortunately the people who are the most ignorant have the loudest voices, which means that they're going to reach the biggest or the bigger target audience where they're just like, okay, well, this guy doesn't like you and that hurt your feelings. Hex him, curse him, make sure he loses all his hair and all of his scholarships. And it's like, no, that's not going to work. And then you wonder why your curses don't work. That man has done nothing bad to you. I don't even want to say man because I don't want to stereotype anything. That person has not done anything bad to you for you to try and curse them just because your feelings are hurt. That's not how that works.
That's not, and not to... A lot of the disenfranchised people of the world have relied on curses, and now people are wanting to say that curses are bad. Think about it a little bit and wonder why. Because they were invented by disenfranchised people to reclaim their power in some fashion. They have a place. If you have been disenfranchised by somebody, by them taking away your power in some fashion through a true toxic act, then yes, you have a right to curse them back. This is not about your feelings being hurt.
Right.
That is a very different thing. This is about them fundamentally altering you as a person because they hurt you so bad. This is cursing your parents because they kicked you out at 18 because you were not the sexuality that they wanted you to be. Absolutely fine.
Not because parents didn't buy you this one thing that you wanted and now you're upset about it, even though they knew that you didn't need it at the time. They were just trying to look out for you and you got upset about it and now you're putting a curse on them. That's not the same thing at all.
No. And it's not going to work. It's going to come back to haunt you because you're just attracting negativity to your life.
Right. And
there's
now,
a key difference.
Doesn't mean that it's backfiring. That just means that this is a lesson that
you've
you need to learn.
You've attracted the negativity into your life by trying to do it. The curse is not working at all, but you've collected the negative energy to do the curse. Now you got to live with that energy.
Right.
Because you don't know that the curse just didn't work. There is a way of figuring out, I forgot what I was going to say, about how to figure out if there's a right place to do a curse or not. But I think we'll do probably a deep dive episode for that. Because I do want to talk about it. And I want to get a little bit touchy-feely on the what cultures created curses. Because it certainly wasn't the white witches. The European witches, I'm more saying. So, We'll get more into that later, but swamp water, of course, because of the way that it is, it's filled with nasty creatures. I'm not even saying like dirt. There's mean creatures in there.
Alligators. Crocodiles.
We said the same word at the same time. We were on the same wavelength. So this is also really good for binding negative energy and making sure that it just doesn't go anywhere. You can bind into a little bottle of negative and throw the bottle away. Goodbye.
That would honestly be good for like a little jar for like negativity. I had one of those jars, but I didn't have a negativity jar. I had a protection jar. It was different, but thinking about swamp water, yeah, you can have it in the jar. It doesn't need to have an open cap. It shouldn't be put in a bag because you're not trying to spread it. You're trying to bind it. You're trying to conceal it. You're trying to keep it in that one area collected so you can just boom, boom, boom.
That is the misconception about spell bottles and glass is that it is exceptional for energy into it.
Right.
So you want to do spells that collect things that you want into the bottle. You don't want a spell bottle for creativity. You want a spell satchel that you can hold on yourself that breathes and breathes that creativity on you as you're moving around.
Exactly.
So you have to think about what you're putting into a spell and like what you're doing that spell for. Is like a glass bottle is best for containing things, containing negative energy. If you're doing it for a protection spell, you would collect the negative energy into the bottle, and the bottle is the protection itself.
Yep. And we have an episode on that called Spell It Out.
We do. That was our last episode. Please go check that out.
Yeah,
there's plenty to learn there.
Up there somewhere. Go check it out.
So that is what swamp water is best for. This is great for any Florida witches. Good for you. And probably Louisiana, Mississippi area.
Like those southern
Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia too.
I don't wanna just specify voodoo, but most people who practice voodoo probably also, make use of voodoo, swamp water.
I believe there's also a label for hoodoo is a different, there's several different kinds of those branches down there. So yeah, absolutely. A lot of them would probably use swamp water. We could ask Spaji.
Yeah, we don't do voodoo. So disclaimer, if we don't know what the hell we're talking about, feel free to comment and tell us we are wrong.
Absolutely.
Because we like learning and we don't want to be ignorant because ignorant is not bliss.
Ignorance is not bliss. We learned that. We'll talk about that in a Kabbalah episode. We learned.
Oh, true.
We could do a Kabbalah episode. I would love to do a Kabbalah episode because we've been learning about that on the side. More spiritual Saturdays. So that is, I will say, we have finished our 12 labels for water. I don't know if there's any waters types that we're really missing. I think we covered most of it.
We'll figure it out. If we haven't, then we'll just put a part 2.
Absolutely. But I think that this covers just about anything that you could want, really. And a lot of these are waters that people could access.
Rose water. We didn't talk about rose water. I totally forgot about rose water.
I didn't talk about anything that I had to add into the water.
That's fair, actually.
That's a whole different branch episode. That's like potions and stuff like that. You're borderline on elixirs and potions.
I like those.
That is something. We could write that down.
Write that down.
Elixir.
What the hell is Florida water? I'm scared.
Oh no. That's not water. It's a type of cleansing cologne.
Okay. I'm like Florida water?
Actually, that is 100% what it's not water, but everybody should get Florida water. 10 out of 10 recommend. I also have a bottle myself. Oh, I had a bottle. I fucking finished it, actually. I need to buy it again. It's really cheap. Smells pretty good. It's used for cleansing and rituals and basically anything witchcraft you could use it on. Like cleansing your candles. It's a great way to do that.
Stump water, marsh water, hail, which is not to be confused with snow.
Oh shit, hail would be different. We might actually have to do a part 2 episode.
We'll figure it out.
Yay, I'm all the more ideas. I'm happy to have more ideas. I got 2 down right here. We'll talk about making rose water and all kind of different kind of waters like that and what they would do. I would love to talk about that, start branching into that stuff.
And if anything, again, if it won't take long and it's just one thing that we possibly missed in an episode, catch it in a short and we'll redirect you to the main video because we gotta definitely get used to doing that too.
Absolutely. We want to get back into shorts. I promise we will. I am actually just waiting on a new phone.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a lot of new anything right now, truthfully, so we'll figure it out.
But yeah, that's the episode. Mia, do you want to talk about what your next episode's gonna be? I'm so excited.
God, I'm so excited. Yes,
Mia's gonna teach.
I love it. Our next episode is going to be Astrology Matters, but not the way you think. And I say that because a lot of people, and I'll talk about this in the episode, but this is a little preview. A lot of people have their own basis of their personality just being their sun sign. And there's a lot more to their personality than just their sun sign. Like, sure, that is who you are as a person, but that's not the only that's not the only way you are as a person. And recently, a lot of people have been talking about their big three, you know, sun, moon, and their rising sign.
They've started to expand, so... But there's a lot of reasons why some people will be like, astrology doesn't really matter because I don't feel like my sign. There's a reason why you have more than one sign. You have about 14. Everybody has about 14 or 17 if you want to include some asteroids.
And I highly doubt that one person has that one sign in all of their houses. Impossible, because a sign can only be placed into one house. So you're wrong. I don't want to say that like that, but you're wrong if you think that you can have one sign for everything.
Unless every single planet is in the same house, in the same sign, which is theoretically impossible because Pluto exists. And he still matters in astrology, regardless of what anybody says.
Transformation and change, baby. Pluto was like, I don't want to be a planet no more. And they tried to shame Pluto, and Pluto was like, y'all can keep being what y'all want to be, but I'm going to be what I want to be. Who want?
It's true. Oh my God, I didn't think about the fact that Pluto went through a transformation from a planet to not a planet. It still fits. He still fits. So,
put some respect on Pluto's name. Thank you.
So that is just theoretically impossible for one person to be, I'm a Leo. No, you're not.
I'm a Leo through and through. Now, if you're a Leo rising and a Leo sun, then possibly you could be a Leo through and through because that's how you are on the inside and that's how people perceive you. But then you've got your moon.
You would still have other ways of communicating. Because you communicate in one fashion, you display your passions in another fashion. There's so much more to astrology, and I can't wait for Mia because it's a Mia episode. She's gonna teach it because I don't know next to nothing.
I love astrology, and I'm excited, so I can be the one in the front seat this time. Ooh.
Yay!
Give Space's throat a break.
Yeah, can you actually hear how my throat is getting rough from talking? That's crazy, even though I could keep talking, to be real.
But it's gonna be so exciting, and I hope you guys are ready, because I'm about to be spitting.
She is. I've seen the notes already. She's about to be spitting. I'm about to take a lot of notes, actually. So that's where we're at for today, and that's the next episode, so I'm very excited. Do you want to hit us with our mantra or what?
One more thing. We will be doing a spread. We're going to be doing reading sometime soon because we are going to do a spread that will read us into the new year. The new year, as in January, but not actually spring yet. So we're going to be doing that, and it's going to definitely, I think we're going to drop it on New Year's Day. So look out for that. That's going to be exciting. And y'all get to see the overview of how our year is going to go with us as individuals and also with Witches and Weebs. Hooray.
And we will include the spread in the description. So if you want to do the spread with us and include it in the comments, please do. We would love to hear about your year upcoming. And even if you just drop the cards that you pulled, we can inference and we can give you a little reading right there in the comments if you want.
Right, because I wouldn't mind. We might see something that you might have not picked up. And that's why we like reading from different perspectives, because we might have not thought about it. And we're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now that you say it like that. Okay, thank you.
And I need the practice.
Me too.
Like, desperate need for practice, so let us in.
Please. Hello?
Hello?
Can we read your cards for you? But all right, remember everybody, please practice wisely and stay safe. May all of your affirmations and manifestations come to fruition. And we're gonna see y'all next week for an astrology episode.
Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to hear it when we upload again and see when we're uploading. Love you guys. I don't know what else to say.
Bye, everybody.
Classic space.
Yeah,
Bye.
you know, stay mystical, because space
Stay
and say it's all
mystical.
say it for her.
Oh yeah, totally lost it. Completely gone.
Goodbye, everybody.